if you want to improve your airbrushing, or if you just got one and you want to kind of learn, right? The only really the only like skill that you need is like controlling the flow, right? I've said in the paint thinning video, where maybe the only thing that you want to practice or learn is how to thin down. That's really one of the skills. The other one is brush control, or airbrush control in this case, which is kind of the same thing, right? So brush control is, putting the paint exactly where you want it. So now this is the exact thing. So you have two things that you can control. There's the amount of paint, and then the placement of it, right? So amount of paint is literally, if I just like spray like way too much, that's just like too much paint. So if I was doing that on like a miniature or on a sprue or whatever, and I would put like way too much on there, it would cake, like, and you've all seen this model, like this like super heavy, it's like dripping and stuff. So we don't want to go do that. The other thing is control. So I want to be able to control what I do. So I want to, for example, what I want to do is not put paint on that little pink little line there, but encircle it. Okay, so that little pink dot there. So in order to do this, obviously this comes with time, right? So you can do like a bunch of models and everything, but a couple of things that I teach the people when I do the painting classes, or how I learn myself, essentially all you need is like some sort of like cardstock like this, and an empty can of whatever. We are going to use this. What is this? So with the cardboard, what's really nice is you can kind of make your own thing. So you have to set your little challenges. Alternatively, you can get like kids coloring book, and then try to just color with the coloring book using your airbrush. And this is really nice. So usually what I do is I used to do this after using it. So let's I don't know, I was like spraying these bases with white, and then I'm done. But I have all this like paint left over in my airbrush. Now that's what I would do, is I would try to color stuff. So for example, well, like I did here, but then we could do like a little tic-tac-toe kind of game, So I'll spray a little tic-tac-toe game, and I'll try to get my line as like straight and as consistent as possible. So here I kind of failed at the straight because it's like all wobbly, but it's pretty consistent, so that's cool. So let's try it again. Let's try to be okay, so this is slightly better, and we can see at the end there's a little problem. That's okay, we'll do it again. Ooh. Okay, and then we can do a cross too. And you can, for what I'm doing here, you can see this motion here for me much easier because I have to move my arm. This is just my wrist, and whereas this here, I have to move my entire arm. So that's why it's wonky. That just so. If I was to spray, the lesson from this is spray using only your wrist, not moving your arms around, right? So when I do this, my arm is like on my desk, and I'm just spraying like so. So now once you have like your little checker or what have you, and then let's say I finish this color or whatever, then you do this on your next color. Now you've practiced straight lines. Now you can practice to fill, just filling all of these, right? So I teach this all the time. So I just want to fill it, and I don't want to overlap, right? And that's pretty good. So now obviously this is the same color, but if I was changing color, it would be even easier, because then you could just do the same thing but leaving a little border. So let's try it on this little corner here, this one. So we're gonna try to leave like a little black showing through. Okay, so we're gonna try to leave just a little bit of the black showing. Ooh. All right, not bad. So we got this little black here. So this is one thing, and then another good thing is practicing like regular shapes. So regular shapes is kind of interesting. So I want to start small here and big here, right? So it should do a cone, right? So super small to super big. All right, so that's not so bad. Now let's try the other way around. So super big to super small. I always find this one a lot more difficult. I feel like this happens a lot less. where you want to start small because you want to figure out where you're going. But so this one I have much less practice with. I realize now I'm struggling with it. I'm not, it's not like too bad because it is like consistent, but I can't get it like a long arm. And then so that's kind of a nice. And then you can try to do like patterns, you know, like circle, like concentric circles is a nice one because it's kind of hard. And what it's doing, by the way, this I think I've talked about this in another video, like this, where every time I spray, it leaves like a couple of like specks, like dusts. This is because paint gets outside my airbrush. Every time I pull here, you get like you see it like there's a little there's a little like a drop of paint almost. So if I spray, this is the paint that goes on there. You can see, so now I've sprayed, I didn't touch my needle and it's gone. That's because it's there. That's these little fleck marks over there. So now, so that once you practice, and this is like really freeform, like you set yourself challenges. But again, if you have a kid's coloring book, this is really nice because you can just like draw inside the line. That teaches you whatever you need to learn. But what I like, so this is kind of the easy mode, and then once you kind of like get good at this, then you can move on to this. And the reason why this adds two to the challenge. First of all, cardboard will adhere, will like absorb paint, right? So you paint, you can like this was like super thin down. Oh, I thought it would be dry by then, but like this was like this is super thin down and still didn't go anywhere. Whereas a can is much similar to a model with the absorption, right? So if I spray like too large, it's gonna drip like real fast. But for the most part, this is much like a model. Like the can kind of like takes the paint like a model. So if I'm being wonky or whatever, it's gonna show up. Or if I put way too much, like it is gonna start to run like really fast, right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, oops, is that now this allows us to really practice going straight, because what we're gonna do is we're going to try to do a straight line here. So our goal is twofold. First of all, I want my line to finish exactly where I start, in the same height, and I also want it to be in the same size, right? So let's try it. I haven't done this in a while. It's fun. Oops, let's go this way. There we go. Alright, it's not so bad, you know. Again, it sucks because the can is like, we'll switch colors. So, but it's still, I was a little bit smaller at the end, but I was like very close to the same spot. But then again, with your little can, you can like draw into the little logo. So now we have the star. The star is a bitch, right? Like if it was the Squid Games, we'd be fucked right now. Whereas like, you know, Pepsi's a square or whatever, is a circle. But you know, we can try to just get it on there and be like as precise as possible. But this allows you like a lot of like these challenges without having to use like miniatures. And again, I would not like practice this like on my own, right? Like I'm doing it to film a video. But usually what I would do is just do a couple of these every time you're done with something. Like I base coat, I base coat my bases. Okay, well I'm done with the light gray. Cool, we're gonna spray, you know, circles or whatever. So now next time I'm here, and now I'm like changing color or whatever. Let's do it right now. Let's say I do the green. Green is a nice little color. I have a red shirt, so this is gonna be very festive. All right, perfect. So now we have the light green here. So let's say I'm done spraying whatever I was doing with light green. Then I could come back to this from my like, you know, my first. From my first coat, I could come back to this. So now I'm done spraying white, and then the next day I'm doing green, and now I'm finished. You know, the Nurglings or whatever, the Maggotkin, whatever model I was. So now I get to continue or start again. So now what I can do is try to get the green inside the little black circles, right? Not so bad, not so bad. Just maybe a little heavy on that side. That's okay. Okay, and then same thing here. You know, I can do this little square, and now we'll see if we do good because the border is white. So now it should not. So we have our green circle, little white border, and then so you can continue this, and then we can start again with our little can, little circle thing. So let's try to do it again. So same thing. We just want to do one full line across the entire thing, same height, same same. Oops, and you see this is too big here, so it's not even. But I mean, overall, pretty good job. So you can keep at this, and so this is really two simple ways that you get to like really scale up, because this paint, most likely what you're gonna do, you're not gonna use it anyway. So now I have a lot of it because for the video, but usually this paint is what you're gonna throw away anyway. So you might as well use it to practice. So you get yourself a random cardboard to spray on, and then just do random stuff whenever you're done, instead of just like throwing paint away. Just like practice, do little lines, and then just try to fill the blank here, all that little white area. So this here is like one skill that you don't really want to work at because it's kind of boring. But if you do this consistently, like for a month or 2 months, you're gonna get good, like really fast. You're gonna improve. That's the word I was looking for. Like this is the best way to improve